Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 60 of our F1 2016 live career mode. We are here at Brazil for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Coming to this race looking very confident, as you will see right now in the standings. We are only 3 points behind as Raikkonen retired from the race in Mexico, and we won it only just in one of the closest races of the season. And I advise anyone that hasn't seen it to go and check it out right now. I really recommend you go and see it on there. It's one of the best races of the season on there. Still number one in the vehicle performance comparison, which is very important, but we are going to be going for an upgrade for Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season, and I'm going to let you guys vote to decide on what what upgrade we go for. It could be engine, chassis, or downforce, as they're the biggest gains. So we'll see how we get on with that. So before we get into this, guys, quickly, as you can see in the background, it is raining. We have got a wet one, but we don't know if it's going to be a full wet race. We're going to find out in a minute, but before we do, let's see what our agent has to say for our expectations for the race.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
So we've got to finish 6th or higher, beat Vettel, and beat Carlos Sainz and stay 8th in the championship right now. So, before we start, Fix Lizard, thanks for subscribing as well. Do appreciate it very much. But we have got the finale, guys, of Abu Dhabi, which will be not tomorrow because I have got the AOR League race. So it will be on Monday, will be the finale of Season 2. And you guys will vote on who you think I should join, or do I stay at Toro Rosso for Season 3 of career mode. So I'm going to let you guys think about it. And then when we get the offers on the table, I will release the vote, the poll for the vote, which will be done through YouTube. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys would like me to drive for next season. I may add mods, but I'm not sure yet because I don't think it would really work with the podium stuff if like Ocon wins the race and Ocon's face is not even in the game yet. So without further ado, let's get on with this one. It is the Brazilian Grand Prix. We've got a lot of work to do. Let's see if we can do a Max Verstappen and get on the podium from where we are in this race. Without further ado, let's begin.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Joining me on this very wet day is a man who's no stranger to driving in miserable conditions. Anthony Davidson, you've driven open cockpit, you've driven sports cars. How does the wet weather experience change between the different disciplines?
Well, I wouldn't say there's much difference in all honesty. You know, besides the terrifying closing speeds you find in sports cars with the different categories all sharing the same track, driving in the rain is, well, driving in the rain. Of course, the biggest difference between the two is the closed cockpit versus the open cockpit. You get the luxury of staying dry in the sports car, but if your screen ever gets dirty, well, that's a pit stop. Not just wiping your visor or pulling away a tear off, but most of the time, you know, they're both as miserable as each other, to be honest.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Raikkonen, Jenson Button and Verstappen, Alonso, Haryanto, Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, Rosberg.
So here we go, lads, on the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Raikkonen is down the order in 4th, which isn't too bad for us for the championship. As I said, 3 points is the gap. It's a wet one. Intermediate tyres is all we need. So we're going to be running a lot less fuel, as you guys know. I like to run in 4-8 races, we don't need a lot of fuel, and I'm just going to burn it up throughout the race. So we're just going to stick it on 35 kilograms of fuel. So we're going to be saving a lot of fuel in this race, but it's just how I like to do with them in 4-8 races on there. So remember, guys, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and like the video if you want to see more, and are hyped for the finale in Abu Dhabi on Monday.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
So we're here for the race. 36 lap race I think this is, in wet conditions. Is going to be fun. I did forget to put the setup on, guys, but do not worry, I've decided that at the end of the series on Tuesday I will upload a video showing off all my setups for Season 2 of Career Mode. So make sure to see that video if you want to use all the setups I've ran for your own Career Mode experience, or your multiplayer, or your single player mode, or your Championship Season mode. It's entirely up to you what you want to do for that. So formation lap as always, new features of the game, and it should be quite a tough challenge this race, but we'll see how we get on. We're in 17th, not the best of 16th actually, I think, so I don't know where we are. Oh, Palmer's ahead of me, that's why. I was wondering where Palmer went, but it should be quite interesting this race though, in the wet conditions, basically like real life but without heavy rain, a lot of red flags and some safety cars, but should be quite interesting though to work through the field and try and get into the points. Just need to outscore Raikkonen by 3 points to take the championship going into Abu Dhabi, and we could maybe come back from being like, what, 80 points off the championship lead at the halfway mark to take the lead going into the last round of the championship. Would be amazing right now. Qualifying, if you may be wondering why we're qualifying 17th, we basically bottled it, I'm not going to lie. Qualifying on the mediums, and then thought we were safe because Max Verstappen and co were behind, and we were like 1.1 seconds off, we will be safe, but because Season 2 has been so close in qualifying, we missed out by 5 1/1000ths of a second, thanks to Rio Haryanto of all people. So that's why what happened in quali, probably one of the worst qualifying sessions of the season, if I'm going to be honest. As we'll line up then on the grid, Jolyon Palmer finally gets past us. As now we line up on the grid then for probably the big race of the season for this one. Make sure, guys, you haven't ready to like the video and subscribe and share the stream out, but we're ready to go for Interlagos. In a Max Verstappen mode is going to be engaged right now. We are away in Interlagos, and it is a fantastic start from us, passing both Palmer and Gutierrez just about there, but we saved it just about. Going into turn 1, we just got to pray we don't get hit by anyone right now. Got to give space to Grosjean on the inside. There's been contact. Max Verstappen's made contact with someone, but we have to back out of it. Lose the position to Grosjean, but we're honestly still in with a sniff. So we've just got past both Palmer and Gutierrez, so just got to play it cool right now. So we go down the inside of Pascal Wehrlein up to 13th place. So we are on the charge. So hopefully the wet conditions will help this, will aid our car. We are running a wet setup in this one, as we're right on the back of Rosberg as we pass Hulkenberg up to 12th. Up at the front though, I think Vettel's pulling away from the pack. So we've just got to take the advantage now while everyone, all these AI cars are all boxed basically next to each other because they're going to be slow, but once they spread out, that's when they're going to get their pace up. So that's something we've got to think about, passing as many people as possible now before they all spread out and the pace increases for the AI. So it's got to be very careful up the hill here. As we've seen the race, Ricciardo is leading the race, which isn't really affecting me if I'm honest. But we'll come into 11th place at the end of the first lap, so fantastic start from us. 6 positions gained on the first lap. Everyone's got through scot-free, of course, which is good. We'll go through the center S's. So we're trying to defend from Nico Rosberg. We're in lean because I prefer lean to save the tyre wear, so we can maybe do one less stop as well in the race, which is definitely what we want to do. try and get these tyres as long as possible. It is a wet race, of course. No dry conditions or heavy rain, so we're going to be stuck with these inters. And whilst everyone's all together, take the inside of Lewis Hamilton, and we just get glued to Verstappen just a little bit there. As Hamilton gets past again, we're going to go around the outside of him, possibly. Around the outside, and we do so. A brilliant move there. And down the inside maybe of Max Verstappen as well, the wet specialist of Brazil. And we move up to 9th place, so we are in the points right about now, which is fantastic so far. We're right in the back of Valtteri Bottas, and we get a little bit of oversteer off the exit of the final corner, really the legit final corner. So we're into the slipstream of Bottas then. Ricciardo sets another fastest lap, a legit 24.7. But look at the slipstream we've got on Bottas. Down the inside we go. And we get the move done on Bottas and move up to 8th. So next up is Fernando Alonso, and I think that Ferrari is Kimi Raikkonen, so we're not far off Kimi at the minute. But as I said, the field spreading out is not going to help me one little bit right now, so not what I needed. Bottas coming back at me though. Ricciardo's gone, so I don't think I'm going to be winning this race. Ricciardo, look at the gap Ricciardo's got already. So, as I said, once the field spreads, that's when their pace is going to be ridiculously quick. As there's one of the Ferraris pulling away from the other one, who I think is Raikkonen. See, Alonso's being held up by Ricciardo, so we're going to try and go around the outside of the Spaniard if we can, and we do so. Still side by side, just got to give him a little bit of room. And we got through past Alonso up to P7. Next up, the man who knocked us out of Q1, Ricciardo, had a good qualifying session, I've got to say. Getting a lot of back end there, losing the back end a little bit, so dirty air is not going to be nice to me at the minute, but Ricciardo's got nearly a 6-7 second lead over me. Raikkonen's the fastest man on track. We set the fastest lap now. A bit late on the brakes into 1, and we get the move just about done on Ricciardo, nearly making contact with Alonso in the process, but we're up to 6th place. So we're going very good right now. Back end slid out again, but so far right now, so we are literally doing Max Verstappen mode. That should be a game mode in F1 2017, the Max Verstappen challenge. Just showing our capabilities of Red Bull next season, possibly. So we come then into the hairpin section we go, as we're catching up to our teammate, who's being held up by, I don't know who that is in the middle, but I know it's a Ferrari. Obviously we're all running 6 laps less of fuel, so that's why we're running in lean. I just prefer lean. We're going to try and run off the racing line a little bit, just get some standing water, not like that, and just cool the tyres down so we can just last a little bit longer on them. And Alonso's got issues, still behind Ricciardo, but he's got some bigger issues. May have a puncher, a slow puncher maybe. Just going to pull off to the left, off the racing line, just cool these tyres down and get back onto the racing line, just to make the corner. Off the racing line again, just cool them down. But one of the Ferraris is right on the back of the Red Bull of Ricciardo, so it's actually Jenson Button, I think, that is in 4th. So McLaren looking pretty strong. A possible team I may be joining next season if it's available to me, which is of course very nice. A possibility for the team to join a historic team. Williams is another one I'm interested in. Obviously one of the most common ones, Red Bull, considering we're in the Red Bull program with Toro Rosso, so Red Bull's most likely a popular choice among you guys from a couple of votes I've done so far. in the career mode so far. So Ricciardo sets another lap, and we're about, don't know really, about 6 seconds off the lead. I think Ricciardo's having issues because he's slow and a Ferrari is catching up. It's actually Raikkonen, funny enough. So Raikkonen's on the charge. Obviously he is still leading the championship by only 3 points, and a win for him, and if we retire or score no points, will give him the championship. So I do not want that to happen, of course. But if we outscore him, I think we will lead the championship. If by more than 4 points or more, and we will lead the championship. So going into the final round, and obviously I will be doing, going into the final round, we'll need some help with people in the chat, if that's okay, to get some pictures regarding like what I need to do to win the championship, and one for Raikkonen. So I would really like that if someone could do that for me. But I'll talk to that in a minute as we try and get past Carlos Sainz, who's being held up here by Jenson Button. Just trying to short shift here, just trying to save something. Got a nice bit of exit there. Me and Sainz running the same setup really, so he should be looking good. And I think he should be letting me through here. A bit of team orders need to be implied as we get the fastest lap thanks to the tow from our teammates. Oh, nearly hitting back Jenson Button there. And Raikkonen's going for the lead of the race. I can just see that there in front. And I think Raikkonen's taking the lead, which is not what I want. Sainz, what are you doing? Do not pass me. Sainz, what are you doing trying to pass me? I don't need this now, Sainz. Go away. So Raikkonen leads this race, and look at it now, it's a 4-way scrap. Jenson Button's in with a chance of winning this race, I have to say. So Button doing a fantastic job for McLaren, but I'm back to that situation again. Once there's a train, they're all going to be slow, the AI for some strange reason, checking up. So this is our best opportunity here. So we're going to try and go around the outside of Jenson Button. We're going to hold station for the time being and just stay behind them as Raikkonen's starting to pull away from Ricciardo. So I think Ricciardo is using up his tyres a bit too much, if I'm honest. We've got a brilliant run here on Button. Obviously he's got the McLaren Honda engine. It's going to be quite an easy move, this is, around the outside of the Englishman, and we are up to 4th. And Vettel's going for an inside move on Ricciardo, and this is going to help me nicely. Oh my god, that was close. Ricciardo, I don't know what he was doing. Was going to try and do a Verstappen on Rosberg move, but it didn't really work for us. This is not going to be nice. Oh, Vettel just cutting off Button there. But down the inside we go, and we're back up to 4th. And Sainz got past Button as well, so me and Sainz are on the charge right now. Raikkonen's gone already. Left us. It's just a repeat of the first lap, but we've got a brilliant run on Vettel. Down the inside we go on Sebastian, and we are up into 3rd place with a good move. Trying to help our teammate here, Sainz. Trying to make a move there on Ricciardo, but just doesn't really want to work. Just playing it cool, nice and cool out of this corner towards the final corner. As long as we get close to Ricciardo, we can really attack on the main straight. The straight line speed we've got in this Toro Rosso, which is quicker than our big team of Red Bull. So down the straight we go once again. This should be quite an easy move, this is, but you never know what the Red Bulls are capable of. But see, we just get a little bit closer, but we back out of it, turn 1 there. Get right up close. We are running a lot more downforce than the Red Bulls. Shut up, Jeff. Don't need Jeff talking to me right now. Just got to focus right now and just get to the end of this one. Oh, a bit wide there. We've hit 3 figures on the channel as well in terms of the views for this stream. Thank you very much to those who have just joined for what is going to be a cracker of a race here. And if you just joined us and you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, as you do not want to miss next race in Abu Dhabi, the finale and the championship decider. As Ricciardo's made a massive mistake, we're going to try and go on the outside of him into this corner, drifting as well through the hairpin, and we get it done round the outside. What a move that is by myself, up to second place, and now we hunt down the championship leader, Kimi Räikkönen, who at this point, if it stays as it is, will have a 10-point lead going into the final round of Abu Dhabi. But if we beat him and he's in second, it will be, I think it's 4 points going into the final round. We have a 4-point advantage, which puts us in a very good position for the championship. And it's basically going to be a winner-takes-all situation, I feel, between myself and Räikkönen. But you never know, Räikkönen could have another retirement like he did in Mexico last time out. So if you haven't already, guys, subscribe if you want to see a cracker of a finale in Abu Dhabi. But it's not over yet, as Ricciardo's coming back at me. But he can't get it done. He's just got no more straight to try and make a pass on me. But look at the train I'm bringing now of Ricciardo, Vettel, Button, Sainz.
Some information on Alonso. They're speeding up again, so I expect they fix whatever.
Just gone a bit wide, missing the apex of the corner, unfortunately. But as long as we're all catching up to Räikkönen, that's the main factor here. We're very good in this middle sector of the track, because obviously with our high downforce we're running, it's going to help us pull away a little bit from Ricciardo, as you can see. So the first sector, the AI are a lot quicker than me. As you saw there, look at the gap we've got already. 1.8 seconds in this middle sector, up by 2 tenths on our fastest lap. Definitely what we want at the minute. Let's look at the fuel. 2.5 laps of fuel spare, extra fuel we need to save at the minute, so not too bad. Tyres looking not too bad. So we are going to try and do a 2-stopper here in this race if I can. So I think it will work nicely for us here. Only use about 1/5 of the tyre wear. So that's important to think about that right now. But if you're already, guys, make sure to subscribe as well if you're new. So the gap's 3.3 seconds at this point. Vettel's got past, I think, Ricciardo, and is up to P3. Sainz is up to 3rd. What a move by Sainz there. So we've got the double Toro Rosso on the podium at the minute, which is definitely what we want right now. And I think we'll practically secure 3rd place in the Constructors right now. So as it stands, it will be 10 points, I think. Are you sure, Nick? Oh, 7 points. Yeah, 10 points it will be. Because the gap's 3 points, 7 points get difference from first to second. So it will be 10 points between me and Räikkönen going into the final round. So it will be basically, if I win the race and Räikkönen comes 3rd, it's going to come down to whoever has the most wins, and I don't know who's got the most wins, if I'm honest. If it's tied at the minute, so I'd have no idea who would win the championship if it's tied. It's like the 2007 career mode that we did on 2014 here. Just making some few mistakes here. I'm going to try and undercut Räikkönen here if I can, if I have the chance. But once we save fuel, so as it stands at the minute, Räikkönen will be on 305 points. We will be on 295 points. But obviously you don't know what can happen in this one. Räikkönen has to win this one, really, to put him in a great chance of the championship. We have to win to put us in the lead of the championship. On there, Vettel's got past Sainz again, so Sainz is down to 4th, but doing a fantastic job for Toro Rosso at the minute. So we go into the hairpin section right now, where we gain the time back to Räikkönen. But once that yellow light goes on the fuel, we're going to be going up to standard, and we're just going to cruise. So we go purple again in the middle sector. Gap stayed the same at 3.6, 3.7 seconds. So we've got to give a little more. Everyone in the chat put a hashtag give a little more right now, as a words of encouragement for me. Still got, what, 24 laps to go, so it's not end of the day just yet. Still a long way to go though. The rain's staying with us, unfortunately, but Sainz is up to third, so Vettel's in the pits, I think. Not sure what happened to Vettel, but Sainz is in the pits. We've gone purple in the first sector again. We're going to try and do a we're going to do a two-stop hit. A one-stop actually, sorry, not a two-stop. People will try and do two stops. We're going to try one in this one. We will be slow at the end because obviously people will be on fresher inters, but you just lose too much time in the pits and it's a short lap as well. There's just no point doing it. And I think Raikkonen's tyres are starting to struggle, so this is why I ran less fuel to start off with, so I was in lean, just to save tyre wear. And we can just push a little bit, not aggressively, which is going to help us in the long run. As you can see, Raikkonen's now 2.3 seconds as his tyres are starting to go off the cliff, thanks to him on there. Sainz is in third at the minute on his own, so everyone else must be pitting, and I think Raikkonen's in the pits. So this isn't going to work out for Raikkonen here, as we're going to continue on to lap 14 as we set the fastest lap of the race. As Sainz is in the pits as well, from third. Obviously they have got to have a massive undercut on me here, but I don't see why we need to pit yet. We're going to try and get to lap 18 and then we'll pit. Just got to be careful on the rear tyres, is the main factor for us around this track, so just got to try and save ourselves. We need an 18-second buffer really, as it's now the two Ferraris now second and third on the track, but we lead the race. So as it stands right now, if Nick would kindly update the standings for me, is we will be leading now by 4 points going into Abu Dhabi right now. So that's definitely what we want right now. Just playing it cool at the minute. Still got a nice bit of pace. Still setting purple times at the minute. Just under a pit stop ahead of Raikkonen at the minute. Obviously we had that about, what, 2-second gap to Raikkonen before he pitted. And this may be another fastest lap of the race here. Just by conserving the tyres, we set another fastest lap of the race. So we're going very quickly right now in the Toro Rosso in these conditions. A bit of a contrast to last season in the wet, we were not that great. But with the massive downforce upgrades we've got and running a bit of a better wet set, it's working out a treat for us here. Just running a little bit wide off the racing line just to cool the tyres down. There, because I think it's starting to overheat just a little bit, so we're running just a little bit wide right now. So we just get to lap 18, the magic number 18 or 19 definitely. 18 somewhat half distance. So run a little bit wide, just cool the tyres down and just get back to the racing line. There's Raikkonen. Well, obviously I know are doing the free stopper right now, so don't see them doing two stop at the minute. But we're going to get at least a finale going. Oh my lord, massive moment on the curbs. We're all good at the minute. Still good, 15.9 still the gap. Whatever happens in the pit stop, we will be ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So we'll come out in P2, probably on our own at the minute if we pitted, but we're not yet. So we're going to take the wider line, just to say cool the tyres down a little bit, and again, we'll take a little bit of a different line into turn one. Get as much of the water as possible. There is the racing line for the wet conditions there, so we're going to do a Max Verstappen line here. So you guys may remember what Max Verstappen did on that outside line, just to help with tyres here, just to cool the temperatures down. And it's helping us a little bit, so definitely what we need. And there's going to be no rain, unfortunately, for Abu Dhabi, of course, so that's always nice for you guys. Going to have a nice clean race for the finale, and I would really appreciate you guys coming out for that one, because it's going to be an almighty scrap for the championship. Raikkonen has led the championship, I think, from most of the time before Max Verstappen swapped positions with him, before can't remember what race it was. I think it was Canada maybe, when Raikkonen kept the lead from then all the way to this point right now. So this is going to be quite close. This is, but still a long way to go though in this one. We may have issues along the way. Maybe even a safety car could spring a little bit in the works. We'll have to wait and see. 15.1 still the gap, so that's quite encouraging signs for me that I'm setting some quite good pace on quite worn inters compared to Raikkonen, who's on a fresh set of inters right now. We're going to come across the line to start lap number 17 off. Still in the 123s, which I'm quite happy with. The gap now is exactly 16 seconds, so we're just going to come out just behind Raikkonen by about maybe 2 or 3 seconds right now. But as I said, still nearly halfway through this race already. So we can see I've got 9 tenths lost to Raikkonen in the last sector, I think that was, because it's down to 15.1. Bit of a tank snapper there. But remember, we've got to save these the final set of inters that we have coming into the pits to get us to the end of the race. Obviously, Raikkonen's going to be a lot quicker than us at the end of the race. We just need to see if we can get these to the end, as Raikkonen will be a bit quicker than us at the end. So it's going to feel like Mexico all over again right now, like last time out, because the tyres on the rears are the worst compared to at the front. So we'll go one more lap and then we'll pit for the intermediates right now. So just going to check everything is on inters. They are indeed. And we're actually ahead on fuel, actually, surprisingly. So for the next stint we'll go to standard all the way through the race, because I think we'll be fine. We've done very well on the lean tyres to get to where we are, and I think if we were in standard or rich, as we just go a little bit wide, just putting a little bit of extra power on that we should have done, if I'm honest. As we come down the straight then in towards the middle sector. So if we retire from the races, our tyres are definitely going off the cliff now. So it's definitely think best to stay in lean. So we can get to the end of the race on them, but if we retire from the race or crash out, of course, then Raikkonen will obviously take the lead and will win the championship. He's got that 3 point. Actually, no, will he? Yeah, he will actually. It'll be 28 points if he wins the race and we retire, and obviously 25 points for a win means that Raikkonen will take the championship if we don't score a solitary point here, or even if we become 9th or 10th actually, or 9th. I think so. I don't know actually. I can't really work it out. My maths is a bit off. There's a plane coming in on the right hand side. I don't think that's realistic from Coast, but we're going to make our way into the pit stop. This is where we had quite a few drive-throughs, if you guys remember that very well. But we're going to take it nice and easy into the pit lane for a set of the intermediates for our only stop of the race. So it's not really going well for us here. So it's a good stop there from the boys. There's a plane there coming over the pit straight. I don't think that is realistic. Come on, Cody's. I don't think there's a plane going over the race. But we've made our final stop. Raikkonen will still lead the race, but we're coming out in 2nd place. So as it stands now, Raikkonen has the lead of the championship again by 10 points right now, unless Vettel can bring us a surprise right now. But we're going to be doing no more stops then in this one. But Raikkonen's lead is 5.3 seconds, so we've got a lot of work to do right now to try and catch up to the Finnish driver right now. I can't do anything about the pit lane lag. I don't know why it's doing that right now, but a lot of people have been complaining about the pit stops on other channels that stream, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I can't really do anything about it right now. Science has dropped down the pecking order, which is not what I wanted to see. Jeff not talking is actually helping me here concentrate, but I need to know what the weather's like. It's going to get heavier. I know it said it's going to be light, but obviously the standing water could play a role here and make it wet tyre territory, but we'll wait and see in a minute. But the gap's 4 seconds now. Thanks to Nick for doing the live standings for me, of course, the live point standings. Do appreciate that, Nick. But I would love someone if they could to make me like an actual. So for when I start the stream for Abu Dhabi, I'm gonna have a little intro talking about what the stipulations are, if that makes any sense. Like if I win, where does Raikkonen need? If I come second, where does Raikkonen need to come and all that? If that makes any sense. Like if I come 8th, Raikkonen needs to come like 5th to win the championship. If that makes any sense. So if someone could make me that, like the F1 guys did, or and put my face in a Toro Rosso seat, that in a Toro Rosso suit, that would be fantastic. Of course. Obviously they have to make one more pit stop, which is going to be around about lap 24, I'm going to guess. You guys know what I mean though, don't you, by the stipulation thing? Because I want to just, you know, get a bit of an explanation for newcomers to the stream who are going to see the finale, or missing this, or missed this race, or you know what I mean. Just to make it a bit understandable. So as it stands, going into this race, Raikkonen was 3 points ahead of us. Just want to clarify that. Obviously, if it stays as it is, Raikkonen will have 10 points on me going into the final race in Abu Dhabi. If we win the race and Raikkonen's second, then we will lead the championship by 4 points, I think it is. Going to the last one, gap's 4 seconds, 4.3 seconds. Just want to just clarify that to anyone in the chat right now. But it's really, Raikkonen has to win this race really to stand a good chance at the championship, and me to flop at any point. I see some interesting driver of the day predictions. Pastor Maldonado is one of them, I can see in the chat. I know about fuel, but if I stay in lean, we can get the tyres to the end of the race. If I go up to Standard or Rich and burn them, burn up the rears, as you saw, 50% on lean for 18 laps, I just don't want to take the risk, if that makes any sense. And I just feel comfortable because I just lose the back end wheel spin on the rear tyres, so I don't want to take the risk. It is getting a bit brighter, I can say that, but I obviously know it's going to stay light rain for the whole race. But there's not a lot of standing water that I can use right now as a guide. I'm just going to take the Max Verstappen line just to cool the tyres down. And whoever does it, guys, will give me a shout out as well for the prediction, for the stipulations. The best one. If that makes any sense. Maybe we'd have like one picture with myself and then the stipulations, and then another picture of Raikkonen with stipulations. But don't do it yet, because obviously you don't know what the stipulation is at the minute. So if you are interested, just let me know, or just post it to one of the mods in the chat, and then they can DM me. Well, especially Nick can DM me who's interested. Gone purple again in the middle set. The gap's now down to 3.3 seconds. Just keep it calm, Ryan. Keep those rears calm. Still 9% all round, which is what I want right now. Raikkonen's still leading this race as he comes across the line. Raikkonen doesn't even appear on the map until now. As you said, another fastest lap of the race, 22.6. As we just get these intermediates to the optimal temperature, so the wider line, the Max Verstappen line, is actually helping us here, I have to say. So we've got to keep doing the Max Verstappen line. But remember, we will lead the race, because obviously Raikkonen will have to pit again, coming so early on lap 12. So he's going to be coming in next lap or this lap for his final stop, and obviously he will be cutting us down on fresh inters, whilst we're going to be going down on worn inters right about now. So Apparently we're pitting on lap 35, but I don't really think we're going to be pitting, so I don't really need that anymore. I'm not going to go any more in the fuel because I want to just conserve the rear tyres especially, because I don't want to be having a moment where we crash out, of course. So far from 17th we're up to 2nd, so 15 places gain already. The gap's down to 2.6 now, so Raikkonen's starting to struggle on those inters. Raikkonen pushing to the limit because he has to just keep on going. Raikkonen stays out again as he goes on to lap 24 of this race. Still setting some reasonable lap times right now in the low 23s, high 22s right now. So we get a nice line through 1. Correct it nicely for 2. Max Verstappen line again. Just come off the racing line just to cool the tyres down. Pull off to the left again. As always, cooling the tyres down, temperatures down. Come back onto the racing line just to make the corner. We're purple again in the first sector. Gap's down to 3 seconds. Just take a bit of a wider line, just get as much of the water as possible. Let's take it nice and smoothly, Ryan, nice and smoothly. Team of the day, Sauber. Lol. That's funny, I have to say. Raikkonen's struggling now on his tyres. Look, we've closed that up nicely, the gap. Vettel behind. Don't think we're going to be getting challenged by him anytime soon, but the gap's now nearly exactly 2 seconds. It's a little bit loose out of the final corner. Will Raikkonen pit this time? I think he will pit. No, he stays out again. So Raikkonen might actually go to the end of the race here. Driver of the day, Swansea City. Love the balance. Ooh. Pure concentration right now. Oh, here we go. Right, this is the race now. Raikkonen's in. Time to save these tyres to the end of the race now. I think the science is coming in as well. Let the tyre management begin, so I may not talk as much. Concentration mode's on now. Time to sweat now, sweat mode's engaged. Ooh, got some traffic coming up. A 15-second gap. This is ours in the bag unless we burn the tyres up. Now we lead by 10 points. 4 points, sorry. My bad. 4-point lead. Look at all these people. What's in the pits? Who's that in the pits? Rosberg down in last place. Lol. That's funny. That's really funny. Rosberg's in last place right now. Tank slapper there. Oh, another one. Trying to get past the traffic now. This is going to hold me up here. Thank you, Palmer. I'm actually getting out of the way this time.
They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Just got to get past the traffic. It's going to hold me up here. Oh, Bottas, what are you doing? Thank you. Bottas nearly bottled it for us. About to be bottle ass, if you want to make that a new one. Anyway, come across the line. 9 to go.
Considering switching to an alternate strategy, do you want to change or stick to plan A? Understood, copy that.
Got the confirmed change from Jeff. Staying out to the end. Everyone's on their final stop. Still no damage though, which is important. Oh, this traffic. Traffic's holding me up here. Ericsson let me through nicely. Will Magnussen do the same? He does. Come on, Nata, let me through. Thank you. I've lost so much time there. 13 seconds to Raikkonen now. Ooh, got away with that. Very close this is now. Right, we lost so much time in that. There's another plane in the background there. I really don't know why Cody's have put planes in this game, because there's no planes around here. There's no airport in the middle region in Rio, is there? In Sao Paulo. Why did I say Rio? I can't believe I said that. Rio's not even at this track. That's how much I'm just trying to, like, I'm off focus right now. It's Sao Paulo, in the middle of Sao Paulo. There's no airport. Can't believe I said that. That's going to be in the bloopers. Oh, done a Sebastian Vettel moment there. I just hope Raikkonen has the same issues as I just did. Lost lots of time there. Gap's down to 12 seconds. I'm getting a bit worried right now. 7 to go at the line. How's tyres done? 31%. I've just seen the comments coming in now regarding what I said about Rio. We're not in Rio de Janeiro, are we? We're in flipping Sao Paulo, so my bad in the comments. We get a bit of a face palm in the chat when I can see it. A GP3 engineer. I'm talking about on this game because there's a plane flying over the main straight before when we were in the pits. I think it was. Just seeing another plane now. There's no airport around here. "11 seconds the gap. And we've got even more traffic coming. Raikkonen's coming up to the start of the traffic jam. As you can see, I am in top set for geography. That is true talk, petrol head. 12.6 then covers me and Raikkonen with 6 laps to go. So as it stands, 4 points it will be. If Raikkonen doesn't finish this race, then it is definitely advantage me going into the last race. It'll be like a Nico Rosberg Hamilton moment of the season. Quite wet in this middle part of the lap, I have to say. In most parts of the track, I haven't got the racing line. Who's this up ahead then? We've got another train of cars coming. Not as much, but still as much. To go purple again. Gap stayed the same at 12 seconds. So that train is going to hopefully ruin Raikkonen's chances here. Look how much fuel we have. How's our tyres looking anyway? I may go up to Rich just for the lols right now. For the last few laps. I think we're going to be fine on tyre wear, so we might as well give it a little play right now and see what we can actually do with pace. As requested by the chat. Let's see what we can do. So there's still battles going on here. We've got Hulkenberg, Perez, all fighting for position. Massa, all three of them are fighting for position. I'm just going to come and ruin them now. Especially Perez. He's trying to get past his teammate, and that's quite an easy move, that is, I have to say. As Raikkonen has now caught to the back of the train. We go purple again in the middle sector. Still a 10th gained on Raikkonen. We get past Hulkenberg. Going up to 4 laps to go then in this race, where we will, if it stays as it is, take the lead of the Drivers' Championship as we set another fastest lap, a 22 flat on Rich Mix. Massa, what are you doing? Do not let me go at that corner and slow down the apex of the corner of the Senna S's. That was a scary moment right there. Ooh. Remember guys, I will stick to my word if we win the Drivers' Championship. There will be a shoey on hand if we win the championship. On air, on camera as well. Do remember. I haven't forgotten when we hit 10,000 subscribers. I will do the shoey.
Right, some information on Grosjean. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. We're coming back up to speed.
And Grosjean gets back up to speed now. He's 12th though, to be fair to him, even with the issues he's had. So, props to Grosjean. He lets me round the outside of him. Just about. A bit feisty is Grosjean, but because look at the train issue Raikkonen's in now. He's lost 4 seconds in that train, so I think it's ours to lose now if we have a puncher. 3 laps to go then. So having a bit of fun now. We have got this win secured, will confirm our status as leading the championship, as we will, in the words of Sky F1, have the jewel in the desert. Going into the final round at Abu Dhabi. Someone can make me that as well as a promotional poster if they want. Using the F1 background of Abu Dhabi, that'd be quite cool. So coming around then to start the penultimate lap of this race. Thank you before I go into the finale and all that stuff, thank you to everyone that's come out for this one. Over 100 viewers and more watching live is just incredible, so thank you to all for coming along and supporting me in this race. It does mean a lot to see 100 or more, I think 120, nearly 130 viewers watching this race is ridiculous, so thank you to everyone coming out and supporting me in this race, as we will for the first time, if we can survive another 2 laps, lead the championship for the very first time in the series, and it's taken us 2 seasons to get to this moment right now in a Toro Rosso. I'm not the fastest as compared to like the likes of Tiamat, Mard, Ben, Arav. I'm not like them on raw race pace, but we've improved dramatically in the 2nd season right now. Or like X-Mighty GM or Jade or TRR Luminous. We're not as quick as them, but we're doing a fantastic job right now to pick up off on course, if it goes well in Abu Dhabi, our first championship in only the 2nd season of career mode. So that is fantastic if we can achieve that in the Toro Rosso team. Would be quite an amazing moment for me, and I think it will be our first championship as well in career mode. I'm not sure, it could be, or even our 2nd as well. I'm not sure. Someone who's been a long subscriber can clarify that for me, but we've never won the Drivers' Championship in a career mode. We've come close before, coming home in 2nd place, I think, overall in the Williams. I think it was in the Williams or the Red Bull. We got close to the championship. But we're going to come on then to start the final lap of this Brazilian Grand Prix. It's been a flawless drive, and that just cements it even more, setting the fastest lap of the race. 21 seconds now the gap is between me and Raikkonen, who is being absolutely done over by the traffic that we were in a few laps ago. Let's try and go for another fastest lap. The tyres management has been amazing for me to try and do a 1 stopper here, and we're going even quicker right now. Nearly 2 temps up in the 1st sector is what we want right now, but it is going to go down to the final race in Abu Dhabi, the jewel in the desert. Obviously copied Sky there, but just only about 6 corners to go, I think, or 7. I can't count the maps right now, but coming into the last sector then. Got Pascal Verdine next, so we've nearly lapped nearly all the field as well. Up to 11th place is just quite amazing, really. Don't think we're going to get a fastest lap here unless we get an almighty run from Pascal Verdine, nearly losing it on the last corner. But it's going to be a comfortable victory, this is. Probably the strongest performance in the wet. We've done the Max Verstappen challenge. We're going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix and lead the championship as well, going to Abu Dhabi. What a drive. What a win.
Brilliant stuff from Toro Rosso today. What a superb victory. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
And look at this, they're coming out now. Toro Rosso have developed something of a reputation for forging exciting talent, and we can see that here. An incredible victory.
So there we go then, victory once again, and this can confirm we are now leading the Drivers' Championship, if I'm correct, by around about 4 points, I think, going in to the finale in Abu Dhabi in a few days' time. Let's see what Crofty has to say for who his driver of the day, Davidson's driver of the day is. Let's see who it is.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. We see a new name at the top of the championship table as we reach the end of the
Wonder who
Grand
that
Prix
is.
weekend. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I think I'll have to give it to the Toro Rosso driver. They did a
Yes.
great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern day Formula One.
The Constructors' title may already be decided, but so then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
So here we go then. Here are the results then of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Me on the one stop, winning by over 21 seconds, nearly 22 actually. Preserving the tyres has helped us massively. Raikkonen in second, Vettel in third, which confirms Ferrari winning the Constructors here. Button in a very impressive fourth for McLaren. Sainz, our teammate, in fifth, which will secure us third place in the Constructors, which is fantastic. The two Red Bulls in sixth and seventh, with Ricciardo being Verstappen, Alonso in eighth. Lord Harrianto himself gets another couple of points for himself, and Lewis Hamilton completes the top 10, with everyone finishing the race, which is fantastic. But what does this mean for the Drivers' Championship? It means for the first time this series, we are leading the championship going into the final round by 4 points on there. Vettel can't win the championship no more, and he, I think, has secured third as well in the Drivers' Championship on there. So it all comes down to the last race. So basically, whoever beats the other will win the championship. It's that simple, I think. And here is the Constructors' Championship. As Crofty's mentioned, Red Bull cannot beat Ferrari now, and Ferrari have clinched the Constructors. We've secured third, and obviously Mercedes will come fourth, with McLaren, Honda in fifth. And it could be close, actually. Still 7 points in it between Mano and Williams. So Mano could finish in sixth place there. But what a race that was, I have to say, on there. And it all means that for the next round, Abu Dhabi, the finale, is going to be quite a good one. And we're going to see if we're going to get any upgrades for this one. And it's going to be an almighty upgrade right now. This is the right call to not upgrade the car. Well, Cease Trading is going to... This is going to be a tie, actually. I've got a feeling. Yeah, it's a tie. Me and Vettel tied, which is annoying. So me and him are tied on there. And you guys know what this is. It's going to be all purple, which is fantastic for us. Not bothered about the career mode score. And we've got another voicemail from our agent. So this is going to be interesting to see what she says.
Hi, Emma here. I had a sit down with the executives today to talk about your progress. Long story short, they're happy. Keep it up.
No, cheers, agent, for that very encouraging words. But it is the end of the episode, guys. So thank you very much to everyone who has watched this video. Make sure to slap a like, and if you haven't already, guys, subscribe if you want to see the finale of this career mode. And I just want to say, Victor, Jack, and Caesar, thank you all for subscribing during the race as well. I do appreciate it on there. But now we head to Abu Dhabi for the finale, the Jewel in the Desert, as copyrighted by Sky Sports, of course. On there for the finale, it will be on Monday, guys. The finale. I'm having a day off from career mode as we have the AOR making a return to Canada for the PC Split 1 League. So I hope to see you guys there for that. It'll be on at 8 o'clock in the evening tomorrow night. So make sure to head over to that one and support me on there as we try to get some more points on the board on there. And someone's donated to me. Thank you very much, whoever that is. I don't know who it is, and I won't find out till the next stream. So thank you very much, whoever that is. But make sure, guys, to like the video, and if you're new around here, subscribe if you want to see the finale of Season 2, and you guys will vote on what we go for in terms of a team. And I know what I'm going for in the engine. Well, there's only one thing we can do, really, in this one. We haven't got enough for the chassis weight, so we're going to just use drag, just get it out of the way, use our remaining points, and that will do us there to increase our gap to Red Bull and Ferrari. But I'm going to end the episode off there, guys, now. So thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you on Monday for the finale. I will keep you guys updated on an official start time for the stream. But until next time, guys, have a great evening, whatever you're doing around the world, and I'll see you for the finale in Abu Dhabi on Monday. But for the next video, it will be tomorrow for the AOR PC Split 1 livestream. Until then, have a great evening, guys, and see you soon. Take care.